Hey everybody, happy Thanksgiving. Where today we are actually going to be reviewing a whole team of the Dinobots for Thanksgiving. But before we get to the Dinobots, we're going to get to we're going to do our special shout out for the charity toy drive. You got days left. You got about a week left, but I'm going to be setting all the Dinobots to the side as I talk about it. We got a week left actually for Timmer's charity toy drive, which actually ends on the 30th. But I'm making this video early in the month, so let me put Grimlock back because he's the first one that I'm looking at. But we are doing the charity. The T is doing the charity toy drive, so I'm not sure what we're doing. I might post a special video to let you know during the month where we stand on this toy drive. And you can donate to any charity that benefits kids, and send Timber a picture of the receipt to his email, which y'all should have his email by now. It'll be entered into a drawing, and win a prize. You know, if that's not benefit enough to get you as a part of this toy drive, I don't know what will. But go ahead and join this toy drive. But let's take a look at the Dinobots. We're going to be looking at the Dinobots and have them in a combined form. Starting with Grimlock here. He's pretty tall, but started with his articulation. Ugh. Where for him like this, his head can rotate. Not a complete 360 because the back does hinder it. His arms move out like this, rotate around. You hear soft clicking ratchets. He does bend at the elbow, and his hands does move in due to transformation. And then we can look at his blaster right here, which is a nice looking blaster. And then his other weapon is this translucent plastic in the red color of his sword, which is pretty cool. And of course his go here to his legs or ball joints or ratcheting joints can go in. You hear it more on the go when he closes in. He can bend forward, bend back, bend at the knee. You know, so let's go ahead and do the transformation of Grimlock. Starting with the chest. You want to open the chest like so, and get these two pieces lowered down to where you can actually close up these two pieces right here. Lift up his T-Rex head, which you can open, close his jaw. But then you want to have these, lift the side pieces back up to where you can actually rotate the where you want to get his legs to where they can close together. You want to make sure they line everything up and get whoa, you definitely want to get everything lined up. It's all goes in and put together like that into place, so you can form his tail, and then get these gold pieces, make sure everything's aligned. Once again, it's grows in, put together. Ready clamp like this, and then you can fold his hands in. I'll show you with this hand, and put it in like this, and then you got his T-Rex mode, you know, with it right here. And like I said, you know, he can lift his head out, his T-Rex head out. Roar! And his little T-Rex arms on a ball joint. It can do all kinds of movements. And then his T-Rex legs can ratchet back and forth. It's got the knee bends where he can bend both ways. His tail can move. And gets him in his T-Rex mode. And then to get him in his part where he can actually form the body of Volcanicus. You want to have his tail where it's bent back like this, and then separate the legs. Ugh. And then you also want to fold the elbows all the way up so they can at least come out to do the shoulder points. Ugh. And then you want to ratchet the legs, as you can see it, to where the legs are separated like this. And you might have to use like the sword to really get in to get Volcanicus' head out. Because the head of Volcanicus is kind of, really ratcheted in there. And you want to take the waist to do a complete 180. Oh, you can hear me ratcheting it. And you have Grimlock like this, where he's in the Volcanicus body mode, where he looks like this, as close to it as you can. And we'll set Grimlock off to the side. So then we're going to actually go next to doing his arms, which we're going to start with Snarl. Because here you have Snarl in his robot mode. And this is his double barrel blaster, because he's the only one that can hold it. And he doesn't even hold it that well. And then to get Snarl in his Stegosaurus mode. You want to open up these back parts with his legs, like such. So that way, you lift his arms up. So you can actually bring them up like this. And then you just close the... Oh man, he does get kind of hard. He does have to where the door flap can pop out. So I'm actually trying to get that back in. If you do the same with the other leg, just roll that back, roll that up. Half the time I have to use a little bit of extra force, and it makes me feel like I'm going to break the thing. Because you got to use a little bit of force on it. So I feel like I'm going to break it. Which kind of sucks. Because he is kind of... It's got this little piece that's kind of hard to move. It does show where it can move, but it's just hard to move it. So it makes the latch kind of... To put it in dyno mode, it makes it kind of hard. But while I'm doing that, I can show you. You take the head, lift the tail part up, so you can put the head back right there, and then bring the tail piece down, and you can close that up and do his tail. And then take his hands, fold them inward on both hands, so where you got the back of him. Ah, there we go. And then make sure that's pressed. Bring out his two front legs. And then you got him in his, make sure all the spikes are up. So you got him in his Stegosaurus mode. And he also comes with the hand for Volcanicus, where you can put the thumb up like this so you could be one hand, pull that in, or you bring this one up like this, so you can be the other hand, which I have him do it this way with this hand. No, I'm actually going to do it the other way. And have the other thumb up. The first way I showed you. You know, like this. And whatnot. Whoa. If his hand would stay out the bubble. Yeah, but I have it with the clenched fist because you use that to put a sword in. And to get him in his arm mode. Which is really simple. Once again, you actually want to use a sword to really get in there to get this piece out. Because it is ratcheted in there and it is kind of tight. Ugh. Man, these guys are tight. These guys do have the tight connectors, which is good because, you know, they're not easily to be broken, but, you know, they may break just for sheer force you might have to use to really get them out. Man, these adapters could get hard. Ugh. Just to get them out is really, really hard. Oh man, this guy is tough to get his connector port out. Ugh. Man, these guys are literally tougher than they are in the cartoon. But hey, it works. Oh, what I might have to do is just set the legs up. to see if I can actually get in here. Oh, looks like where the connector port's wanting to come out. Gotta grab you a pair of scissors real quick, because that might work better. Sorry y'all having to spend a long time looking at a table with nothing on it. I think Snarl is the toughest piece. It's getting there. But Snarl might be the toughest one to get into arm mode. There it goes. You want to get the arm mode where the connector port like this is out. Oh, I was doing the legs wrong. So funny me. Ugh. Wait a minute, you do want to have the legs down and out and connected. My fault. I'm just an ignoramus. It's been a while since I looked at the Dinobot combiner. Oh, it's been about a little over a year now. So, I'm expected to be a little rusty. I mean, just a tad bit. Ugh. So you basically want him to look somewhat like this in arm mode, to where you could put the hand right here in this little connector port here at the bottom. You just plug the hand right into it. And you got Slug in his arm mode. So let's set him up with to attach to Grimlock. So there you have him with Slug connected to Grimlock. Right there at the arm. So now we're going to take a look at his other arm, which is Swoop. And Swoop, this Swoop doesn't come with the cannons on the wingspan like he usually does, like the cartoon does. But he does come with a sword. And of course, start off with Swoop's head, where his head can rotate, as you can see. It can rotate. Ugh. I should have had my boy Kevin from Scorpionock over here to help me with this, but hey, it's alright. And of course, his arms can lift out. They can rotate. They can't really do the 360 due to the wings being out, but they can. He does bend at the elbows. Of course, his hands can bend in due to transformation. His legs can kick out, go forward, go backwards. He can bend at the knee. You know, whatnot. He's pretty good transformation. So let's take a look at him in Pteranodon mode, which you want to combine the legs together. Make sure they peg and lock in together like so. And then you want to bring these out. Bring his little bird claws out. Lift his Pteranodon face up. And you want to bend his legs all the way back because they can plug into these little things on the side of his leg, on the side of his wing, back of his wingspan. Actually, I think you push him up forward. No, you do put him back toward the back, and Make sure they clip together. You got where his feet are like this. You fold his little hands in and connect them to the hip joints like so. And then fold his hand like this. Inward. Turn his wrist around so you can connect this port to this hole in the side. And then you've got Swoop in his Pteranodon mode, which his head can lift up like this. Can't really rotate. His feet can, do one of these. Of course, he's got his wings where you can do this. Spread these out where he's in like really big flight mode. Do his little flying thing. And then to get him in his arm mode, you can get his connector port out, which is right there in the back. His was easier to get out. You can bring his legs down, have them get the bird feet back into place on the front of his legs. And then you just tuck his wings away. And then you take the other hand and then you got his other hand on there. And you connect him to Grimlock. And then you've got this much Volcanicus done. So let's go ahead and take a look at his legs. Which is we're gonna start with Slug or Slag, whatever you prefer. Which he also comes with a translucent sword, as well as another blaster. And then of course Slag, he can't really move his head due to where it's how it's positioned, but his arm can rotate out to here, rotate to 360. He can bend at the elbow, and of course his hand can move due to transformation. And of course his leg can come out to the side like this. He can kick back, kick forward, bend at the knee. And so let's transform him. Start with this part with his chest. Go right there. And then we're going to fold his fists into his forearms, and you got his front legs. And his legs are just like the other guys. And then you got Slug in his Brontosaurus mode. Or not Brontosaurus mode, Tyrannosaurus. Oh no, his oh Lord, what do you call these guys? Brontosaurus. Nope, no. Tyrannosaurus. Or Triceratops. Triceratops, that's what it is, Triceratops. Oh, I knew it would come to me. But this is Slug in his Triceratops mode. And of course, legs can pivot out, forward, backward, bend at the knee. This one can bend at the knee as well as rotate. You know, and whatnot. And his horns can move, and I don't know why. I never known a Triceratops that can move his horns. So let's go ahead and look at this guy in leg mode. Which and actually, I think you could just only use Slag for arm mode. Because I do not see how to get him in leg mode. So we may have to switch Sludge. So we'll unhook Sludge from Grimlock. I just hooked the hand to Slug. Or as I still like to call him Slag, because he'll always be Slag to me. Hook him into Volcanicus. Put Slug back into Volcanicus. But as I get ready to do that, I'm going to bring up Sludge. So we get ready to look at Sludge. It is This guy is difficult to put together. He's got to be the most difficult combiner out of the bunch. But he's my favorite. Okay, now it's time to look at Sludge the Brontosaurus in robot mode. And of course, he comes with a blaster. Same as Grimlocks and Slugs. Of course, his head can rotate. Arm can bend out to the side like so. He can spin around. His hand can move into a transformation. Or do the transformation, elbow bend. His leg can bend out, bend forward, bend backwards, knee bend. You know, so let's take a look at the Brontosaurus version of this guy. First thing you want to do is you can bring the Brontosaurus head up like so. And then fold his hands in. And you fold his hands in like that. Bring his back wings back down, and you can form his back, and then rotate the. I think you can rotate the biceps. You should be able to. But actually, I don't think you can. I don't see why. Actually, you can rotate him at the biceps. Like I said, they make these guys look easy to transform, but make them hard. And then when you get the legs where they're looking like this, so you can fold them up and hook them in. And then once again, you're going to want to rotate at the waist. To where you basically got him to where his front becomes his Brontosaurus back, and his back becomes his Brontosaurus belly. Make sure you get the legs rotated toward the back. Bring his arms down. And then you got the Brontosaurus mode. And of course, as always, he does have the jaw articulation. He can move his arm at his neck. He can rotate his legs. So it's these legs. So let's go ahead and look at him in dino mode. Or, not dino mode, but leg mode. So you're going to want to get him to where you can take his legs apart. Where you got his legs like this. And you want to get the arms back and put the Brontosaurus head in, or backwards. Ugh. Where you have him looking like this in leg mode with that connector port up. Plug in his foot, you know, like so. And you just connect him to the leg connector right there on the leg of Grimlock. Ah! Ugh. This guy does get tending to... And then you've got Volcanicus put together. Which I could move the tripod now, so we can get a good look at Volcanicus in all his glory. So I'm going to pause it for... So here we got Volcanicus in all his glory. You know, and of course, he can move at the arm. His head can rotate, well, not really. But it's everything he can do that the rest of the Dinobots can do and move around. Same articulation, it's just a little flimsier. But here he is in all his glory with all 5 Dinobots. But this has been our Thanksgiving episode, so I hope you all have enjoyed it. We will see you in the next one. Happy Thanksgiving, and until all are one.